welcome to today's Express full body workout. So I've set myself a challenge to put together a really good full body workout in 20 minutes and no muscle is going to be left out. So let's get started with our warm up, please. I want you to have your feet parallel, just underneath the hips. Relax your arms down by your sides. Take an inhale breath, drop the chin, melt down. So as we melt down, we're actually going to stay down here. We're going to stay in this bent over position. You're going to bend your knees for me. Completely bend them so your chest can relax onto the thighs. Crown of the head to the floor as you stretch out the legs. So now we're going to lengthen the tailbone up towards the sky and then we're going to bend the knees. So the first exercise, straighten the legs for me, is going to be your your sumo squat. Coming down into your bent knee position and then stretching the legs, tummy muscles tight. Last one. So we're just warming up the legs for that exercise. Now keep them straight, but soften the knees so we round up. And release. I want you to make handcuffs behind your lower back. Pull the shoulders back, pull the elbows back. As you hinge forwards, you're going to bend the knees. Now, hopefully you are familiar with this exercise, at least this mobility exercise. If you haven't done the mobility workout yet, I highly recommend that you do because it's going to save your body from daily life. But also just as you get going with these workouts, it's really important to dip in at least once a week to the mobility. The other thing is they can be your warm-up. So before you switch this on, you could go and do the mobility. It'll take you 5 minutes. Okay, 2 more, bending the knees as we hinge, stretching the backs of the legs. And then last one. And we're going to just do one more warm up for the upper body. So you should be familiar with this one, hopefully. Legs nice and wide, palms together. Give me 5 circles. 5 with the same arm. 4, 3, 2. Make sure the body twists with you. Don't leave anything behind. And other side. Good. 3 and 2 and 1. Perfect. Okay, relax. We're going to do one set of squats without our weights and then we're going to go and grab our weights and do the proper set there. This is just continuing our warm up. So for a sumo squat, basically we want to have the legs a nice width, about a foot wider than your hips. And then we turn out the toes ever so slightly. So we don't need to have the feet dead straight like a goblet squat. We just walk them out a little and turn the toes out. Not like a plie, so not all the way. Just like a very slight diagonal. We're going to have our arms low in between the legs as we come down and then push. Where you're pushing is through the floorboards with your feet. Down and push up. Down and push up. And what this should feel like at this point is like you're getting a nice little stretch through the inner thighs. We're getting nice and juicy into the hips and the knees. We want to keep the chest upright, but your gaze needs to drop slightly as you come down. Because if you're looking up, like maybe you're looking up at me, you're actually going into your lower back there. So we want to keep the gaze down and it will keep the back of the neck, back of the head in line with the tailbone. All right, give me 2 more of those. 2 more. And then I want you to have a little breather. Our rests are going to be short. So actually we're getting a bit of a cardio workout today as well. And our reps are going to be high. We're aiming for 12 to 15 reps with this workout. So I'm going to just go ahead and grab my weights. Grab yours as well. We want to set the legs up exactly as I just described. The weights are going to fall in front of you like so. Now I don't want your weights hanging off the shoulders. We want the shoulders to carry the weights. When you're ready, we're going to come down into our first set of sumo squats. Same thing. So I didn't give you much of a rest between the warm-up and this, but it's a continuation more than anything else. So when you don't have loads of time, you just want to get that feeling that you're getting a little bit hot and sweaty and a bit of a burn in the legs. And you know what, probably tomorrow you'll feel like you did much more than a short workout. Sometimes my workouts are only 30 minutes, so it's not that different. We're even going to have some time to fit in some core. Okay, so we're aiming for 12 to 15 reps. I think we're on about 10 here, so let's get another 5 and 4 and 3. Find that biting point, 2. And 1. Up you come, take a breather, place the weights carefully down somewhere high or on the floor if you know it's safe for your back. Ideally, your weight is challenging you. You want to make sure that the weight challenges you. Just adjusting my mat slightly. But also, you could do this without a weight if you felt like it was quite a lot of work for you. Right, we've got a 30-second rest. That is your maximum rest. So the heart rate's gone up, hopefully. And if not, it will do. Also, when we're training legs, your heart rate's bound to go up more than when we train other parts of the body. We're doing a whole body workout though. So we've got back today, we've got shoulders, we've got biceps, and we've got a little bit of core coming up as well. Okay, let's grab our weights one more time. Turn out the toes in that slight sumo position, so a foot wider than hips. Turn out the toes, tummy muscles strong, shoulders strong, and then here we go into your sumo. So I've just changed my angle slightly, just to give you a different view really, just so you can see the different points. My knees are just following the exact same line as my big toes. That's what we want. So if we've turned out the toes, the knees are meant to follow the same line. And actually, this position is usually easier for the knees, which is also why I like a sumo squat. Keep going for me. I'm just going to change. If I was using the side position, then I would have my heels elevated. That's usually a good width on the mat, and the rest of my feet are off. We're going to do another 4 more reps here. So if you want to try this for your final set, I'll explain it in more detail, but that could be quite a good option as well. Okay, last one, but for now it's giving you all the different views. And then we're going to place the weights down. So while you're having a 30-second rest, I'll explain what I just did. I've got my heels elevated on my mat, which if you're struggling with getting your heels connected to the floor, that could work quite nicely. For most bodies, this is a good width for you. You could go a little bit wider off the mat, but I quite like that. So you could finish this set, or your squats, the final set, in this position if you like, as long as you don't need to look at me because you're going to be twisting and hurting your neck, or move your mat around. So in about 10 seconds, we're going to be picking up our weights again from either a higher platform like a couch or from the floor if it's safe to do so. Let's get set. So toes are ready, feet are ready. Grab your weights, strong shoulders, strong abdominals. Here we go. Let's get 15 here, unless you're too tired at this point. So focus now on pushing the heels through the floorboards as you come up to standing. Push through the floorboards. Sink the bum back and down. Make sure you're not being shy. Stick the bottom right back, back and down. Back. Those hips want to move. We want to slide them. Want to get some mobility going on in those legs, in those hips. Let's do final 5. Here we go. Strong shoulders, 5. And push. 4. Push through the floor. Every muscle in your legs are working right now, by the way, which is why I love a sumo. Final 2. And up. Final 1. Those are done. Okay, put the weights somewhere safe. You're going to need a lighter set for your next exercise. And if you don't have a lighter set, don't worry. Just use the same ones. Whew. All right, I'm going to get straight into the next exercise. You're having a breather for a moment. We're now moving on to our back muscles. So, rear fly. This is the position we want for our rear fly. Feet parallel, a little bit wider than hips. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come into this bent over position. The weights come together and we're going to open the arms out to the sides. If that doesn't feel good for your body, you're going to stay upright and you're going to do a lateral raise, bent elbows, lateral raise instead. Slightly different part of the body, but safer for your back. So that's your option, please, if your back hurts. Join me, grab your weights. So either prepare for a lateral raise or bent over position. Bring the weights together in the front, keeping a bend in the elbows, open out. And I'm keeping the same rep range, which is a bit mean of me, because to get you to do 12 to 15 rear flies won't be easy. So what I suggest you do is either do 12, because it's 12 to 15 reps, or drop the weights if you can't get to 12, and you can just carry on. So at the very least, we get that gorgeous posture work in there. Okay, I think we've approached the 12th. Let's do another 3 here. 3, if you're off my count, it doesn't matter. 2 and 1. Okay, we're going to place the weights down somewhere safe We've got 30-second rest, and we're going to pick up the weights again. So if your back doesn't like being in that hinge position, and some people just can't sit there for ages, give in, stand up tall, and go and give me some nice shoulder work instead. The only two body parts really that we're missing is our chest from this workout, and also some triceps. But to be honest with you, they're all getting used in the exercises anyway. But if you wanted to at the end of this workout, you could finish off with some push-ups. I'm not including it in the workout, but you certainly could if you wanted to add. So that'll get your chest and your triceps. All right, let's grab the weights, strong shoulders. Not sure how many of you will take me up on that offer, but anyway. All right, we're gonna find that hinge, drop the chin, open up. So I want you to keep a bend in the elbows, and I want you to feel the shoulders pulling towards each other. We're defying gravity here. That's why we find this exercise hard. And a lot of my clients say to me, they feel like they can't really move anywhere. But actually, just moving your arms anywhere away from the floor is brilliant. But I know it does feel like the range is restricted here. Final 5 if you're doing the top end, 15. 5, 4, 3. Tummy's so strong here. Support your back. 1 more here. Well done. Place the weight somewhere safe. 30 seconds rest. Gonna have a quick sip of water. You could be doing this whole workout with 1 set of dumbbells and you'll be totally fine. Right, we've got the next final set of our rear flies coming up in about 15 seconds. If your back is sort of too tired for this now, take the option I gave you of doing some lateral raises instead. It's going to hit the tops of the shoulders. Lovely muscle work. All right, let's grab our weights. Make sure you're picking them up safely, please. I don't always demonstrate that very well, but you should be. Okay, let's reset. Bent over position, hinge at the knees and the hip, weights together. Up we go. So remember, the option is you could also take the weights out of the exercise and do this without the weights, because you're going to get that fabulous posture from working those shoulders. Carry on with your workout, and I'll just explain what I mean. We spend so much of our time hunched that any exercise that opens up the chest and pulls the shoulder blades together is going to be a really effective one for posture, because we are on our phones too much. Okay, I think we've got another 5, taking it to 15. 5, I'm going to take my weights off now, and I'm just going to open up so I get that feeling of the chest opening and the shoulders pulling together. And then last one, and that is done. So we've done 2 quite large we've done our largest muscle groups, our legs and our upper backs. Now we're going to move on to an Arnold press, and Arnold press, what it does is it captures our biceps and our shoulders all in one go. I recommend using a slightly lighter set of weights. Maybe the weight just on your rear fly would be fine. There's quite a lot going on in this exercise. So while you're having a breather, I'm going to demonstrate this one for you. The Arnold press begins in this position, not this position where you're relaxed and doing nothing, but this position where you can feel the flexion and the activity of the bicep. So once you've got that set, either a single arm rotates and presses up, or a double arm rotates and presses up. And we always come back by lowering the elbows and pulling back in. Go and grab your weight. Let's get this set done. It's our final set here. So, final exercise, I should say. So either a single arm or a double arm. If you're doing single arm, it's the same rep. We want an even number though, don't we? So we're going to stick to 12, unless you feel very strongly that you want to add a few more reps. 12 is probably a great number for this exercise, because also you've just done loads of hard work. You're already getting a little bit tired. I want you to feel energized after this workout, not like I've beaten you up. This is 6. So if you're getting tired at this point, you go single arm, open, push, and then just make sure you're alternating. We've got 4 more. So this is how it would look to do a set of singles. It's not a bad idea to do this, because I do find a lot of my clients, they emphasize one side more than the other. So it might be a good idea to just get a few of these single ones in, as well as the doubles. Make sure your tummy muscles are so strong here. One more time, please. We'll take you to 12. You may have stopped already, which is also fine. So you want to put the weights either somewhere a bit high or on the floor. Got a 30-second rest. Whenever we do standing exercises, I want you to remember that all of our exercises start at the floor. So you don't want to be standing as if you're just like you're just doing nothing and you're just chilling, waiting for your kettle to boil. You want to stand with purpose. So all 10 toes spread, heels into the floor, a slight bend in the knees, so that everything that happens up here, you know you've got the right support. So abdominals are strong. Use an out breath to suction in if you need to. Let's grab our weights. Grab them carefully. Make sure you're parallel. You're not twisting to pick them up. Okay, I'm just giving you all these pointers now. I know you're tired. Soft knees, strong legs. Here we go. Push, pull, and bring it in. Open up, push, pull, and bring it in. Repeat. We're aiming for 12. You do as many as you can. This is not just one exercise. There's a combination going on here. There's a lot. It's a lot going on. Otherwise, we're halfway. So you could stop now and go to singles if you feel like that's what you want to do. Just remember to rotate. It's good for those shoulders. If you're struggling with any of these exercises, remember to message me. I'll give you some pointers if necessary. Final 4. Here we go. Carry on for me. Just want to explain that when we're rotating, it's because we want to allow the shoulder to move into position for the shoulder press. So you want to make sure you're fully rotating, pressing up, and then rotating back. Finish your set for me. Right, we've got 30 seconds. Amazing what we've managed to fit in to this little amount of time, but it doesn't surprise me because we're all good at that kind of thing, aren't we? So we're going to finish off in a moment with our one more set of the Arnold press, and we are going to have time to do some core work even as well. So bear with me, I'm going to grab a sip of water, do the same if you need to. My arms are absolutely trembling now. Okay, we're going to pick up our weights from somewhere safe, please. Okay, so standing so solid through the floorboards, strong shoulders, strong abdominals. Are you ready? This is it. This is going to feel like it's the last exercise or the last weight exercise. Your body is going to start getting a little bit fatigued, but before you know it, you'll be over and done with. The best 20 minutes. That's one thing I've noticed since my life has become so much busier, is you don't need to work out for an hour. Those days were a luxury, but actually you just want to get it done. Just want to make sure that each week you're covering all your body parts. So every body part gets a little bit of a workout each week, ideally twice a week, but once is fine. Once is better than nothing. And then, you know, that might not take you very long. So look how much we've done. And like I say, we've only really skipped our chest and triceps. All right, keep going for me. Keep going. In a moment, we're going to be coming to the floor. So I want you to finish your set. When you've done your 12 reps, remember, we're going to put the weights to one side and you won't need your weights now. Once you've completed that set, just catch your breath. We talk about cardio versus weight training. Doing such a short workout, moving from different weighted exercises, your heart rate has gone up. My heart rate certainly has. So you could go for a really nice walk later if you had some time, like a 10-minute walk or something, but you don't have to feel like you've got to go and do some cardio now. You've done a nice amount of cardio. But we're going to come to the floor now. So when you're ready, come and join me on the mat. But we don't want to let our heart rates go down too much at this point. So come and lie down. Rest your arms down by your sides. And I want to do exercises that don't strain your neck. So that's, if you're wondering why I'm not doing kind of crunches or Pilates chest lifts, it's because I want to give your neck a break. You've just worked your upper body really hard. Rest your arms down by your sides then and bring your legs to a tabletop. Use an out breath to drag the abdominals towards the floor. Have your arms up to the sky. From one of my favorites, dead bug, I'm sure you guys have seen this recently if you've done any of my workouts. We're alternating the leg and the arm. So I've got my left leg and my right arm pulling back, and then we bring it all back to center. Push and so I wanted to encourage you to make a really loud out breath when you pull your leg and your arm back in, so you can touch the floor with your lower belly. That's the hardest bit for most of us to try and kind of tap into. So I want you to feel your own strength as you breathe out. We're going to do 4 more. One of my favorite core exercises. And 3. And 2. And 1. And then hug the legs in towards your chest. So fabulous exercise for the whole of the tummy. Let's do a little bit of waist work now. So for this exercise, we're going to go a bit wider with our arms. You're going to bring your legs to a tabletop position, still keeping to that idea of leaving the neck out of it. So we're going to drop the belly to the floor. We're going to do a hip twist, but this is a strengthening exercise. It's not the stretch version. So we're going to take, both legs are together, by the way. We're going to take them over to the right. And what we want to make sure is that that left shoulder hasn't budged. You want to feel the strength of the left waist as you pull your legs back up. Take the legs over. Inhale, over. You've hopefully got a bit more space than I do on my left. Take the legs over. Drag the waist muscles in. Squelch them into the floor. Squelch the abdominals into the floor. Now, there's a video that you can do, which is all a stretch. It's a short one, I think it's like 10 minutes. If you have time, today or now, I recommend doing that stretch. If you don't have time, I recommend just making sure you do that at some point during the week, because we love strength training, but your body needs that balance of some stretches as well. Plus, it's really good for stress. Okay, 2 more. And last one. Come back to center and now hug the legs in towards your chest. All right, brilliant. We're going to flip over now into a child's pose stretch. So we want to finish with a nice little stretch before we go, but like I say, you'll need a longer stretch at some point. So spread out your hands, let the head fall to the floor, and I'm so happy that we made it. We've managed to do everything we needed to do in 20 minutes, even some tummy work. So 2 very effective exercises for your abdominals. Also, everything else we've done today, by the way, worked your tummy muscles. Okay, come on to all fours, tuck your toes under, spring up into your down dog, drop your heels. Soften the knees, walk the hands back. Stay here, we're going to bend the knees. And straighten up the legs. Bend the knees. Straighten the legs. Give me 2 more. 1 more, bend, bend. Straighten, soft knees. We round. Bring one arm across the chest. Give me a little stretch here. So it's better than nothing what we've done stretch-wise, but if you could do a bit of a longer one, that would be great. Otherwise, thank you for joining me for this workout. Hope you feel fabulous now. I look forward to seeing you next time, and I hope you have a great day.